This is the Tamriel Downunder Team, and we are here to chat with you and keep you entertained while the Elder Scrolls Online live servers are off, which they are now. Also, quite early for once and on a different day,
Yes.
so that was a bit unusual. However, we will keep you entertained in the meantime. I'm sure you know us all, but let's go through again. Angry, say hello.
Hello.
Map, say hello.
Hi.
Daku, say hello.
Hi. Hello.
And I am Icy.
Icy, say hello.
Hello. Hello, chat. Are you all well? I hope everybody is good. So we're going to talk about the PTS notes, some interesting things that we've run across. Let us know if there's anything in particular that you'd like us to talk about that are in the notes, and we can certainly give our opinions, which we have strong ones.
Yes.
So we're going to go through all the things in the notes. We might do a little running around in the zone as well, but we will be avoiding spoilers. We're probably going to maybe like a public dungeon or delve, that kind of thing. So you do get to see some of the Elsweyr zone, but we aren't doing any of the main quest at all, not even the starting quest, and nothing of any spoilerish significance at all either. So you are safe to watch us, even if you're hanging out for the new content, which we are as well. But before we do that, perhaps I think we should do a recap of the outstanding fundraising effort that happened over the weekend. Daku, can you give us a rundown of the Make-A-Wish Foundation?
For sure.
Fundraising.
Was a fantastic weekend. One of the best streaming weekends I've had in a long time. It was 14 streamers across the Elder Scrolls Directory. All joined forces and raised money for Make-A-Wish Foundation Australia. We managed in total across 72 hours to raise $8,146.56. All that going to help very, very ill children have their wishes come true. And
it's amazing.
And it was amazing. And I realized after the weekend, as a slight bonus, that was my Twitch stream anniversary that weekend.
Yes.
Oh,
1 year.
1 year.
Oh, congratulations, Daku.
What a good way to celebrate it.
Oh, no, and thank you to everybody in chat. Thank you to everybody in the Elder Scrolls, the ESO fam, the hashtag Our Elder Scrolls community, for coming together, for donating, for sharing that information around so everybody knew about it, for promoting, for streaming, for helping. Thank you, everybody. It was amazing. And thank you, Daku, for organizing the whole thing and inviting us to participate as well, because that was really good. I'm so glad that we did that. Like, just it was. There's
phenomenal.
a lot of not great stuff happening in the world right now, so it actually makes a huge difference when you can actually reach out and help other people. So, thank you.
It was,
especially kiddos.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, children need us. That's what.
And Map Stream, there was some interesting stuff happening there.
Oh yeah.
Chat remembers. Chat remembers.
Yeah, many clips for me during that night.
Oh well.
I'm sure there's some clips we could check out.
I'm sure there must be clips. I'm sure there must be
so many clips.
Blooper reel? I think we should do it.
If anybody in chat has any clips, just let us know. We'll do you a commit and you can post them. That'll be fine.
Oh dear.
So that was absolutely amazing. So we do appreciate everybody who helped out. I'm sure that we will be doing some other fundraising events later, but we'll let you know what happens next, and we'll also we'd love to help anybody else who's organizing things. We'll love to help out as well. So it was really good. It was fantastic. So
yeah.
So let's talk about patch notes. Let's go through at least some of the things that are new and changing. So, Map, I think you wanted to talk about some of the new armor sets.
Yeah. Oh, look. Allow.
One spawn.
Twerk is now allowed in chat.
Twerk is an allowed word.
Right.
Yes, that's right.
What? Just as an extra, I posted our thank you video there in the chat. And
Yes.
one last
Oh,
thing
nice.
Yes.
one last thing on the charity is, if you scroll down, you'll see the donation button. If you didn't get a chance to donate and you would like to, it's still open until the end of the month. You can still donate until end of April.
If you didn't get paid or anything like that, I know some people, yeah, they were saying, "Oh, payday's like next week" and all that.
Mm.
So
Like even if you can donate $2, $2 is amazing. In Australia, $2 is the minimum amount that you can then use to as a tax deduction. So don't forget, get a receipt, claim as a tax deduction as well. So
Yep. All right.
so yeah, map armor sets.
Yeah, I was reading through. I always forget about the new sets that are coming, so I thought this patch I would actually pay attention. And there's some interesting stuff in there. As usual, we've got there's 3 new overland sets, a light, a medium, and a heavy. There's 3 crafted sets, and the new trial drops 4 new sets. So there's a Magicka DPS, a Stamina DPS, a healing set, and a tanking set. And I thought I'd just touch on those because people sometimes don't know if they're going to be any good, if they're worth farming. And I just read through them, and I guess I've got my thoughts to offer. Yeah, so the overland sets, there's a new set coming called Crafty Alfiq, which is a light set, which is just all max Magicka. So it's basically the first thing I thought of was Necropotence, right, which is the same idea. So it's like on terms of the base stats, so all the other multipliers aside, it's 600 less max Magicka than Necro, which isn't a lot, although that will amplify when you add all the other factors in. But it's 600 less max Magicka with no requirement to run a pet, which is interesting. So it might potentially be a viable set for other classes that don't have pets or don't rely on pets the same way that Sorks do. So I thought that was interesting.
Just one thing to note, Map, with the necropotence, your necromancer summons count as pets as well.
Yeah, I assume they would,
So,
because
which is-
Warden's the
yeah.
same. Even if you're not using the bear, the other abilities with the pets involved count as pets for those sets. So, but yeah, so there's a max Magicka stacking set for non-pet builds, which is interesting. There's a Vesture of Darlock Bray, which is a medium armor set. It looks to be like a sneaky set. So it reduces your sneak detection radius, and then the 5-piece bonus, you restore Magicka, stamina, and health while you're crouching. It doesn't say if you have to be in stealth while you're crouching. So I don't know if that works if you're detected but still crouching, maybe.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, it'd be worthwhile testing. Yeah.
Doesn't look like a super useful set to me, to be honest.
I think it's one of those sets that's very specifically for a job, which is basically stealing from NPCs.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah,
but
for people that play and sneak a lot. Yeah, but not possibly useful in PvP, but I feel like there's probably better options.
Fair enough. Yep.
The heavy set, Call of the Undertaker, there's a bunch of like health and healing related bonuses, and then the 5-piece is when you deal damage with a light attack, you apply minor lifesteal to your enemy for 8 seconds, which is interesting because minor lifesteal, I'm pretty sure, I think from Blood Altar has lifesteal, and one of the Warden skills, the Vines, at least one of the Morse has lifesteal as well, but that's another one of those handy sort of heal over time abilities. So if you're light weaving your taunt, for example, there's potentially another way to just add a little bit of extra healing to your group. So that's not a terrible set, I thought. So that's the overland sets. There's 3 crafted sets. There's a new these ones are usually not quite as clear cut as to what they're for. There's Sensurat's Grit, which are the 5 pieces. After being damaged by a dot, it increases your healing received and your physical and spell resistance by 25, 85. So it's interesting that spell and physical resist buff is not a major or a minor buff, so it will stack with your other skills. It's a unique buff. And there appears to be no cooldown on that. It says for 3 seconds, but it doesn't say this effect can occur once every X. So if you're getting a lot of dot damage, it's potentially a permanent healing, well, not permanent, but essentially permanent healing received. and resistance boost. And that healing received is also not a major. It's not like a major or minor vitality. It's an independent 6% healing received, so it will stack with those, which is handy.
Oh, how interesting! So perhaps a PvP set.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I mean, anywhere. I'm not sure. I mean, there's lots of dots in PvE as well. Again, not many of these sets I think will rise to be, the new best in slot. But there are some sets in the game that are just useless, and you would never use them. But there's, but some of these are actually pretty good. And we've got Vestari's Tutelage, which is another one of those ones that's sort of a hybridy kind of. Well, they look like hybrid sets when you look at them, but that's not. I don't think that's really why they have max stam and max mag and weapon damage and spell damage. I think that's so both magicka builds and stamina builds can use them. Like mechanical acuity gives you weapon damage, even if you're a magicka character, but it's still worth running on a mag build. So this is like that. It's got max stam, max health, max magicka recovery, stamina recovery, and then when you resurrect an ally, you and your ally gain 250 at weapon and spell damage and 10% cost reduction to all abilities for 10 seconds. So interesting set. I feel like, in one mind, I feel like it's really bad to build for people dying.
Yeah.
like
a safety
net. Like try not dying. That might be a better option. Yeah. But sometimes in certain progression and stuff, you might have one or two people that are dedicated. You get like a res plar, a stamina or a magicka templar. Kagranax is a really popular set for that role. If you combine this set with Kagranax, you get really fast reses from a templar, and the person resing. Ooh, hello Samwise. And so the person that was resing and the person that was resed get a sustain boost. 10% cost reduction is pretty big. And weapon and spell damage buff. So it kind of helps negate that the time that you stopped to res that person, you get like some real burst damage after the res to kind of make up for that, which I thought was really intriguing.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Okay.
That'd be really viable, especially for trials and all that, for sure. As well as like
progression groups where people are dying a lot, just because you're learning, could be a bit of a helpful set. It's Cold Harbor's favorite. This one intrigued me simply because when you heal yourself for an ally, summon Cadwell's noble mount. Who knew Cadwell had a mount, right? Like
that's so interesting.
Since when? But the other thing I find really intriguing about this set is that it's a conditional proc. So cast a heal, the mount will heal, whereas if you cast damage, the mount will do damage. And to my knowledge, there's no other sets that have a conditional proc like that. Like depending, some of them have like random chance. It's like if you, when this procs, it could be one of these 3 types of damage, for example. But this is like dependent on your action, so it's useful as a damage set or as a healing set, which I thought was intriguing. Aside from that, I don't know if it's actually that useful. I don't know how much that damage will work out to. And I'm curious to know what the mount looks like.
Oh yeah.
It's bound to be something like a donkey or something.
Yeah.
It's going to be something weird.
Yes. Yep. And then the new trial sets are also really interesting. There's False God's Devotion, which is basically a magicka version of Vicious Ophidian, which has kind of fallen out of favor now, but was really popular for a long time, particularly for Maelstrom Arena for stamina characters, because a really huge sustain boost. So now there's a magic option that does exactly the same thing, cost reduction, and when you kill an enemy, you restore magicka and gain major expedition. So that's really cool. The stamina DPS set gives you Major Slayer for 15 seconds after you activate a synergy. So if you're in a group that's good at keeping their synergy up times, so like shards, the lightning splash, orbs, the Atronach. Atronach's an interesting one because the Atronach gives you Major Berserk. So you get 15% extra damage from Major Slayer and 25% extra damage from Major Berserk. For the first 8 seconds after you activate that synergy, you're going to get a 40% damage increase.
That's crazy.
So I think in groups that are good at managing their synergies, that's going to be a really good set for stamina DPS. And then we've got Eye of Navintus, which is the new healing set. When an ally activates one of your synergies, so probably shards, orbs, purify, that sort of thing, you and the ally who activated the synergy get 12% cost reduction for non-ultimate abilities for 3 seconds, and this effect can occur every 6 seconds. So it sounds like potentially a useful set. The only thing that made me sort of pause was thinking about how many synergies a healer is actually putting out.
Yeah.
It's mostly just orbs and shards, right? And the cooldown on those is 20 seconds. So you're getting 3 seconds of cost reduction every 20 seconds, like at best. So yeah, I'm not convinced that's going to be a super useful set. It sounds good, but when you think about how it's going to play out practically, unless healers are deliberately putting out other synergies, I don't think it's going to be that good, but I could be wrong. That's my feeling. And then the last set is the Chloroviola Cream, which is the heavy tanking set. And they've added a new buff for this. So when you taunt an enemy, you give yourself an 11 group members. That's an entire trial group. It's not capped at 6 like some of these sets are. Yourself and 11 group members minor courage for 15 seconds, which increases your weapon and spell damage by 129. So that's the smaller version of major courage, which we're getting from Olarima or SPC. So I think that is definitely going to be one tank will definitely be wearing that that set in trial groups because damage is king. We all know that. But it's really good to finally see a tanking set that people are actually going to use, because the tanking meta, it's broadened a little bit. There's some kind of different combination of sets being used, but it's been a really long time since there's been a new set introduced that people actually want to use. Like tanks are still using Eben, Torag's Pact, Brands of the Imperium came out with like the Imperial City DLC. Alkosh, which is another popular tanking set, came out with the Thieves Guild. Like these are years and years and years old, these tanking sets. And all the new ones that they've added just seem to be really underwhelming. Like no one uses the tanking set from Halls of Fabrication. I can't remember what it's called. No one uses the tanking set. Like Alkosh is supposed to be the stamina DPS set from War of Lorcage. No one uses Luna Bastion. No one uses Gallenways. Like none of these trial sets is anybody actually using. So it's really good to see something that is with certainty going to be really popular for trial tanks. So yeah, so it's looking pretty good overall. There's some really nice sets coming out. I think there's going to be a lot of people farming a lot of gear. So that's exciting.
Okay. Now, if you two guys want to ride very fast,
Yes,
might make it
right
time to the
now.
dragon.
All right.
We can show people.
I'll switch the scene over to that, and we'll go through there.
It's quite
It's
a
about.
sight.
It's amazing. It's about 30 minutes. We're not helping right now. We're waiting for everybody to arrive.
Where have I got to go? North there?
Yeah, if
Oh,
you ride up
okay.
that way, that should work quite well.
Like I stood in the sky the first time, I'm like, whoa.
I know,
Whoa,
and
it's just like hovering around.
so the dragons are basically one of the new world bosses. Now there are 3 possible dragon locations that I've seen so far, but there are also just normal world bosses in Elsweyr as well. The dragons, however, are like world bosses, so maybe like space.
They're more like anchors.
Moves.
No,
Yeah,
no.
the dolmens. That's what I.
Oh no. Oh, the
never
world.
have.
No, yeah, no. The dragons are like here, like full on all the way up here. You can solo a dolmen. That's fine. Like,
Yeah,
I
but in
can solo
terms
a
of
dolmen.
their, I don't know, like they
Whoa.
have, you know, specific locations.
They do, yeah. So there's not always a
my
dragon
rapid
at the
assist
dragon
that.
location. They do seem to move around. Sometimes, I mean, once they're killed, they disappear for a while off the map. They're also the standard world bosses
I can
as well,
drive.
but difficulty-wise and amount of damage, no. Like, fully up here, like there are, I guess there's
Yeah, it comes on the north side.
5 or 6 people fighting this dragon now.
And
And
those getting
we've
attacked
been waiting probably since Matt started talking about the armor sets, and it's still going. So like
Hey.
maybe
Oh, we can see it
halfway
now.
did now. So yeah, it's they are seriously
There we
tough. I believe there's a couple of different sorts as well. There's some of it are not as tough as the others. So I think you might be able to find. Yeah, they do different things, but.
I just heard a shout as well from one of the dragons.
Yes, I know. They push radar you. It is
Yeah.
amazing. It is. It's just really cool.
Big dragon.
Alright, that can go. Do it.
Let's do it.
We're in
Let's
it.
do it.
We're doing it.
It's because the servers are down.
Yeah, everyone's like,
Yeah, basically.
whoa!
Never this many people on PTS.
No, we could probably do that.
Why would we want to do that?
Whoa, what's that?
Welcome.
I'm so bad at Necro. I was playing a Necro before.
Yeah.
My damage is
One
might
right
be
now.
up.
Oh,
Achievement
Oh,
unlocked.
suddenly.
A half
That was
digested
us.
adventurers.
We
back
did
then.
that right. Like it was sitting on 40% for ages, and then we came in and
Oh,
cleaned
yeah,
it.
100%.
Yeah, that was totally us. Absolutely.
I don't know if you guys noticed
Yeah,
either,
let's
but
do
the
this.
Necromancer actually has a class emblem at the moment. I don't know if you've seen it or not. It looks really cool.
Oh.
Like I remember last PTS, it actually
Yeah,
had just like
yeah,
a
yeah.
question mark. Now it's actually got an actual like class
Oh,
emblem.
it's like a super cool skull thing. Yes,
Yeah.
nice. I hadn't noticed that before. Oh, that's
Yeah.
sweet.
It's really
That's
cool.
very sweet. Also, Daku, make sure that you check open the bits and pieces you get from the looting the dragon as well. Sometimes there's way cool
Digested
stuff.
document pouch.
That
Ooh.
one.
Wax sealed
Open.
heavy sack.
Half this guy's adventurer backpack.
Dragon pelt.
Half digested.
Half digested. What did I say? Disguised. Oh,
Half
yeah.
disguised.
That's a
Half
lie.
disgusting
Half
is probably
half
appropriate
disgusting.
anyway.
Yeah, let's
I
do
think it's
that.
all disgusting if it's half digested.
Pretty much.
Oh, I got worm.
Uh,
Okay.
Does that
But
mean
in one of
dragons
the
like eat random crap?
Oh,
Doesn't sound very
well, in
friendly
one of
to
the
me.
document packs, I actually picked up one of the Elsweyr furnishing pattern.
Oh.
And if
Yes,
you're not,
I
if you're a
got-
houser, that's like, and if
I
you're
got
not
an
a houser, that's
Elsweyr
like,
bench wooden.
gold.
Yeah.
It doesn't look very impressive. It's green.
Is this Cold
No,
Harbor's
they're all
favorite? Maybe they
beautiful.
don't have it.
Yeah, no, I picked
Okay.
up a blue one actually. No, trust me, I've looked at all
I,
of the
I see
different
the
bits of
housing
furniture.
expert says they're all
lovely.
beautiful.
That actually segues quite well into housing. So there are there's 2 new houses available in Elsweyr. With the normal game, there's an in room which you'll be able to get for free if you do the little mini quest, especially if you've created a new character in Elsweyr. It is a very, very small in room. It's actually back to being the tiny, teeny little square again that the original So it's very small, but it's very central and it's cute, and you know that's all good. There is a very, very cool house that we don't know much about, but it unlocks as you do the main quest. So there's like a starting part of the house that you get as doing the main quest, I think. I don't know if you also have to buy it or you just get this house. It counts as a noble house apparently. So that's 350 slots if you're a normal character, or 300 or 700 if you're an ESO Plus subscriber. And then as you do the main quest, you unlock a second bit of the house. We're not going to go there because, like, spoilers. But the other 2 parts of the house will unlock with the next 2 DLC that come with the Season of the Dragon. So that'll be the whatever dungeon DLC that comes quarter 3, and the story DLC that'll come quarter 4 will unlock the other 2 parts of the house. It's very cool. If you create a character on the test server, you'll get the bits in your inventory to unlock the house. So you should all go check it out. There are videos around if you want to go and look. If you're on console and you can't do any testing, it is way cool. And then there is the amazing house, which is of crowns, which Daku could probably go and take us to, which is right at the north of the map.
All of the
We're
Lunar
gonna
Champion.
go take on the next dragon. There's it's called Jode's Embrace.
Oh, that one. Yep.
And that's only available for preview, I think. Actually, possibly you can purchase it now, but it is amazing and it is definitely worth having a look in. So,
Let's see.
Ah,
Need to find
soft
where
bolt.
that
Yeah, no,
where that crafting
it's-
station is. Cadwell's one.
housing.
That
Housing is
name
a
cracks
super
me
great
up.
fun way to
Don't
spend your
have
time in ESO. So, look, and it depends on the people. But one thing with housing, it is a way to get yourself some extra inventory space as well. There are chests that you can buy to put in your house, which 4 chests of 60 slots and 4 chests of 30 slots. You can buy those in a various either in-game or crown types of manners, which allow you to store more stuff. So that can be very helpful as well.
I just bought the house.
You
Oh.
just bought the house. Oh, sweet. Oh, it's available to buy now. Beautiful.
I'll
Excellent.
That
Sydney's
means
my
we can all
primary.
visit.
You can come visit.
Yay.
And you'll get an
Yes.
achievement.
You will.
House
That's
party.
true. On the test
You
server.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. No, won't let me yet.
Hang on one sec.
Right.
Copy it.
No, you'll have
from-
to set some permissions.
Oh,
before we do it.
Sammy's upset.
Oh, no, Sammy. What's wrong?
Oh, it's just the neighbors.
Oh,
They're super close now, so he's like, if anyone's
Alright,
that
now
close, it
visit
means
me.
they're in my house.
okay.
It's no, actually, they're in their house, Sammy. Leave them alone.
Oh, I'll take us on a tour, Deku.
Travel to playa.
Should be able to visit my primary residence and come here now.
Yep, on the way.
A little bit slightly off there.
But look at those beautiful sand gardens. They're just, oh, they're so nice.
Look at that neatness.
Want to buy IRL teleport.
Oh yeah. IRL waste run.
So the
Hey, don't walk on
the
that. I just swept
circular-
that.
I know.
I'll salt it for you.
Oh my god, yes. I need it. Hang on. I'm gonna get that salty milk.
So the circular formations here, that's actually available as a furnishing item. It's hard to preview them at the moment because you don't know what's just available in the Crown store and what you can actually find in the world. So for the time being, I've just previewed everything in the Crown store, but certainly the circular sand patterns are available. All of these
You have to
braziers,
do
you can,
this.
many of these will be craftable once you can find the recipes.
Thanks.
Maybe. Okay, we can't go that way. But
Under
no, we're
construction.
mucking around in here. Very nice out here, but let's go inside.
Stop breaking my stuff.
Who's doing that?
Did you make us decorators?
Yeah.
Well, that was
Oh,
just
no.
silly.
I've never been
mistake.
someone else's decorator before.
There's a reason for that.
There
Yeah,
is.
well, that's
I'm making it very clear.
Can I find these?
Are you RP walking in here?
You're visiting my home. I'm not going to run around like a
Oh,
fool.
yes, of course. I love it as this hobby so much. Yeah, you can go first person though. What's this thing in the middle of the
Oh, Miss Fiji, yeah, it's a new baker's costume. and it's
No,
in
someone put that
on the test
someone
server.
put that lamppost in front of the front.
Ah, okay.
Now,
Some of it.
there are 2 very nice wings down either side.
Oh my god,
And there's something quite amazing up the stairs in the middle.
Where do I go first? I don't know. Follow dog.
Ooh,
I'm coming.
lovely.
So this is all obviously pre-furnished.
So you can
and
see,
all
you can
that,
get
so-
sort of a feel for some of the Elsweyr furniture in here, and it's quite interesting. It's sort of you'll notice that many of the styles of it is very similar actually to the Hlalu furniture with the Morrowind update. It's sort of like a cross between the Hlalu and the Alinor furniture, which is not a bad thing. It's beautiful basically. It's just very, very elegant and just a little ornate, but not over the top. But I'll direct your attention to the bottle racks over here.
Oh,
With the
winery.
bottles in the bottle racks.
Oh.
Nice.
For
Whoa.
housing people, this is
I can't
so
see.
important.
I've got this bright
Because
light
it
like
doesn't
shining in
count.
my eyes.
It doesn't count towards your item count. The bottle
Mm.
racks are craftable with all the bottles in it.
Oh,
Thank you, Zenimax.
that's so
Thank
good.
you so much.
This screen is really nice as well. There's a little folded screen here, but it's gaps in it. You can see
Beautiful.
through it.
They're beautiful.
Oh. No privacy here.
Nah.
So down the other end
It's really cool.
is also very nice. So I will say, if you're a housing
Invite these people
person,
over.
you will find many way cool things in the new housing, the new finishing items, basically. So that you'll be able to use in existing houses to change them around. There's a lot of new structural items, which housing people, if you're one of them, will know that's always been a thing. That there's never been flat floors. There's never been nice things you could use as walls necessarily. They've actually introduced in here 2 flat wooden with that don't look rough and like run down. They're smooth and they look good, and it's a miracle. So yes, so there is lots to really appreciate in this, as well as the actual beautiful, I don't know, sort of Balinese styled furniture, nearly. Like, I really love the
Yeah.
styles that they've gone for the Khajiit. It's just
This one's solid if you need some privacy, Angry.
Oh, that was solid? Okay. Oh wait, not really. I can still. There's a couple of cracks. So...
Oh, well, I mean, if you're really trying.
but
That's true.
come see upstairs. There is something quite amazing through.
Yummy.
Running, making
Yes,
silly
run,
moves,
run, run.
jumping
Oh,
everywhere.
sorry.
You people don't get out much, do you?
No, it's very housing is extremely exciting, Naku. Show more excitement. Spring.
Angry doesn't need privacy.
I'll take 6. Thank you.
6 privacy, please.
Yeah.
6 out of 10.
But yeah,
Would
the new
recommend.
carpets and the rugs, just glorious.
This carpet's
Okay,
amazing.
that
Oh.
ceiling
I know,
height.
right?
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
The ceiling height. Yes,
this
actually,
ceiling's.
it's true.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, I didn't even see that. I was distracted by
No.
the shiny glow.
But yeah, no,
I
no,
think
do
might be
please,
drugs.
Daku, please go and look at the shiny glowy.
I think this is drugs, guys. Look at it. This is
I bet
this is
Matriarch's not going to poop on
this
the
is
floor.
not a portal. Like, no, I know what's on the other side of it.
Narnia?
I think we get there by smoking.
I think
Moon
this is
sugar.
teleport to us.
This reminds
Better,
me
to be
of my
honest.
20s.
This is not a portal. This is a
is-
vessel with illicit substances. Alright, I'm smoking. I'm smoking the pot.
Oh,
Narnia. Oh, where we go? Okay, we're going.
Whoa, I'm tripping out, guys.
This is to Narnia confirmed. We're in Narnia.
So either it's drugs or it's a port key.
Walk
Because it ain't no
forward
portal.
and don't
What?
forget to look down.
Don't look down or look down.
Do look
Ow.
down.
I could turn off my light and you'd still be able to see me. That's so bright on my
Oh.
screen.
Oh my god, hang on.
get this up a little bit.
Oh
going.
my
Go,
god. What?
What in the hell is this trippy?
What is this?
Ah!
Narnia confirmed.
So the first thing you do when you see a giant blue ball out off a balcony is kill
It's
yourself.
map behind it, yes. It's still shiny.
Had to
That
jump,
is-
alright.
So no, we're,
And
we're in
Aardvark's
the
not
actual
here,
plane.
so-
so...
Just,
No, that's right.
looking
Somebody,
over.
somebody has to jump in. That's right.
Behind
Aardvark's not
us,
here.
that's
Somebody
crazy.
must sacrifice them.
Oh,
You're in the plane of Jode. It's just phenomenal. And yeah, it's just amazing. So, and there's.
Is that moving or is that an illusion?
I don't know
of
how far. Actually, now that you can buy this house, we could probably see how far over.
It's
you
a
can get.
really big sky shard.
Yeah, that's right.
Love it.
But
Alright,
this
I'm on
is, This is
I'm on
this
it.
will be the house that is available for Crown Zone. Just in case anybody was curious as to whether this will be for in-game gold, the answer will be no. Pretty much, this will be a Crown only house. This will be around that kind of 15k Crown price, probably. It may be a
tower.
Yep.
going on.
That's smart.
I can hear them talk now.
I can see my
Oops, I
house
broke it.
from up here.
Like
you
all
just
like
did
this,
that, right?
if you just look up to like the different oranges and all that.
I think I broke
It's
it.
just beautiful,
Yeah.
glorious. The sky is just phenomenal.
All the stars and all that too.
I think I just broke
Yep.
the game.
Dude,
He's purchasing planks and he's broken the game.
I just was spamming by planks. Now it's stuck.
no, it's still.
Are we trying to go out, yeah? So if I do this,
Yeah.
Yay.
I got
Okay.
to hit it. I touched it.
Yeah.
She touched the butt.
I touched it.
Oh no.
Where am I?
Oh dear.
Alright, here we
All
go.
right.
Oh.
Oh dear,
That-
I went too
that's-
far.
Oh, that.
Oh, I'm still alive.
Oh my god. That was
We should-
Alright.
we should
Yeah,
we
I've
should
done
talk about serious things like Cyrodiil or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Um.
Oh
so,
dear, too far.
Volendrung. Let's talk about
Yes,
serious,
the
serious
artifacts.
Volendrung. So super cool. Sheogorath comes to Cyrodiil. Sheogorath comes to Cyrodiil, and you can go talk to him. So it's actually, and it's the actual Sheogorath voice actor. So he is
As
at
far
one
as
of the
we can go.
gates, depending on your alliance in Cyrodiil. If your EP is at the northern gates, you do need to have done the little starting quest in Cyrodiil. So if you haven't already taken a character into Cyrodiil and done the little introductory quest, you do need to do that. And then once you've done that, Sheogorath will pop up and give you a little quest. I see we've reached the wall. Oh, that's a shame. At least we know where the border is.
is that
So
a
you
border?
you can talk to him. He'll give you a quest. He takes you off to Cheesemonger's Hollow and lets you test out Volendrung in there. And
nice.
then you can pick it up in Cyrodiil. It has the power to smash in walls,
yeah.
which is of keep, which is way cool.
Within 30 seconds of like a fully built wall as well, which is insane.
Mhm. It doubles. Sorry, it. I picked one up earlier before I crashed. My health went up to 45. All of my stats went up to 45k.
Don't jump!
Oh, you survived?
That's a wall.
No.
No.
Yes.
No.
No.
I
No.
mean,
Oh,
maybe.
and there we go.
Wait. Oh. Yeah.
That's-
Okay.
No,
that's
you guys are
absolutely
definitely.
I mean,
So
fuzzy
you
ball.
defeat it. So you need to kill things. If you don't kill things, it will kill you. Basically, you're exchanging your soul for the use of Volendrung. It won't spawn. It won't spawn anywhere near a keep. It won't spawn anywhere near a transited line. It'll be off in the wilderness somewhere. You'll have to go get it. You can't be an emperor and also pick up Volendrung. Though I don't believe there's any restrictions if you're in a group with an emperor or anything. So I suppose it's possible. A friend, and you could have an emperor and then a friend
Is it
picking it up
painful
and
points?
running alongside of them.
What's
though that
happened?
would be-
What happened to the fridge?
Map started eating it.
Ah!
We may have turned it into a platformer.
Oh,
Well,
dear.
another thing on the artifact, if you become emperor, you instantly drop it as well. So you cannot
Yes.
have one
You
another.
can't have them both. You get a huge giant glow over it as well. The same way as if you're carrying a scroll, you same kind of pillar of glowing above you.
Yep.
So you're easy to find on the map as well. You have a map marker associated with it. You're actually marked on the map the same way a scroll moving around would be as well. So it's not like you're going to be hard to find.
So you can see them coming towards your keep.
It's like hide and seek, yeah.
There is a campaign-wide announcement when Volendrung appears, and when it disappears, and when it's picked up as well. So you both paint a target on your head, and paint targets on other people's head by picking it up. But I think it will be a massive amount of fun.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I think it will be
Yeah, it's
cause
looks pretty when you've done it.
it is meant to be a random drop. If you want to test it yourself right now, do jump onto the public test server and log into Cyrodiil. There were 4 different Volendrung running
What?
around
No
in Cyrodiil
way.
a little
Oh my
earlier,
God.
and they're dropping very frequently. So if you want to pick one up and have a go at it, I couldn't find a keep wall anywhere that hadn't already been knocked down. You may have to repair
Like,
them
not even
first
seen it. I think everyone's
before you can test that. So, but they are out there ready to go.
Maybe we could try to find one, but
So,
Yeah.
shall we? Let's talk. What else are we
What's this?
going to chat about?
Oh, wait,
we were
it's not
going
this
to
one, it's when
maybe
you res.
do a public dungeon or a delve or something. Is that still the plan? On some and run around and have a go do some combat.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
Now,
they're
Daphne,
very
you're on a
busy.
necromancer, aren't you, right now?
I'm running in necro.
I mean, we could just turn this into a housing stream, but you know.
Well, look, I'm working on a masterful piece of housing art here.
Okay. All right. Well, while you're housing. This is the wrong way around.
Oh,
I'm meant to
no.
be housing, but that's okay. I'm prepared to share my passion.
I don't know.
I will take.
Make sure he's
Oh,
just got enough planes to
man.
build it and can't get back down. That'd be nice.
Oh, jeez. That's kind of cute. Cute.
So, Daku, have you experimented much with the necro? So, what kind of necromancer are you running?
Stamina-based damage. Playing around with. Haven't really peaked a lot, I guess. All my.
So, are we going with Stem Crow? Is this what we're Stem Crow? Is that
Yes, that's what it is.
Okay, just because that was calling it. Yep. So, how are you finding it so far?
Well, I mean, in the absence of any data that shows the new sets are better for damage, I'm just running the old AY and Arms of Reliquant. And throwing in usual rending, slashes, poison inject, endless hail, rearming trap. I'm using shrouded daggers because I like that. Dan can be a little bit ranged and kill multiple at once. But also looking at this ruinous skies just to see if that could be a spammable. It looks like it'd be good in PvP possibly because it does the healing absorption as well. But yeah, it's not overly expensive as far as flammables go. Yeah, I just like built it as we were in the starting soon.
Yep.
How well it goes.
Yep. No, that's good. Well, I'm in the dungeon. Travel to me when you're ready. Actually, and the other things we need to talk about: the guild.
I finished Daku.
The guild finder as well. The guild finder and actually the sky shard. Buying the sky shards from your other character.
Yes.
Actually,
Yeah,
why
25.9
don't
million.
you
Not
buy
much.
Daku? Why don't you buy the new training dummy? If you look in there, you go back to the store. You should see
Got it. Yep.
that one.
Yeah, that was a quest.
So this Atronach is this is the trial testing Atronach. It
21 million.
actually has all of the buffs and debuffs that you would get from a fully trained group, sort of dropping. Dropping.
Oh yes, dropping shards. Good synergy.
Yeah, so you can use your DPS against that particular one and have the effect of which lets you really.
It's good for yeah, like balancing out the differences in the classes as well. Like certain classes have access to buffs on their own that other classes won't get in the range group, so it makes it easier to compare a DPS path from one class to the other.
Sorry. Talk amongst yourselves.
And the game going
Game's gonna web. Alright, can't do that.
That's all good. We've been muted this whole time on Daku's stream.
Nah, I can.
I can pull out of it.
it's
I can pull out
semi-
of game audio and you'll.
Yeah.
I could probably turn you up.
Turn up.
Let me just fix that.
Is that better?
Let me double check.
No.
You'll be better now. I've turned you up a lot.
Yes. Testing.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, no, much better for comparing between classes as well. But yeah, good for trying your. Oh no. No sound, Miss Fiji says.
No, we're good.
Good.
No, I can hear
Well, I wanted to stop a pass.
It's quieter. Should be okay.
it. We're all up.
Do you have a damage out on that to see how much damage you're doing?
Yeah, I have combat metrics.
I don't put 10 on.
What a head-ons. Yeah, I see it at the start of the.
Yeah, just travel to us when you're ready.
Doesn't matter.
Oh my god, we have no tag. Oh my god.
I can't travel because we're in combat. Someone wants to
Look, you started it.
Just
Just
Right.
literally pick up the dummy and put it away. Where do you get that? I need to look at my pets because that is the cutest freaking dragon pet. It's
The
just-
little dragon. It's the.
Oh, it's in the crown store at the
Yeah.
moment. The
I
blue
think
dragon imp.
I have it. Yeah, the blue dragon imp. Yeah, that one.
I probably should
It's like-
get around to pre-ordering.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure about the. So the last I heard, there were some problems with the parsing on the PTS. So I don't know if
I
that's
believe it's all
resolved or
fixed
not.
now.
So-
There was had 100% crit, and the new target dummy
Finally.
was doing something weird with the engulfing flames buff. It kept like refreshing it and
Okay.
stacking, so the flame damage would just increase and increase and increase. And I believe they've fixed both of those things, so it should be safe to pass now.
Okay, that's good to know. And the other thing I'd say is, if you're not sure about the new test dummy, is just is dual pars against just a skeleton. Just so ignore and then compare that to a previous result that you've take your normal character, pars on the live server, pars on the test server against the same kind of training dummy, and just compare the numbers you get then.
Mm.
What the? No. Fine.
Why did I go out the door?
Computer. Doing strange things.
I'm by my angry wolf.
What happened?
I'm sure I followed someone out the door.
Oh, I'm
I'm
here.
inside.
I'm here. I'm
Yeah,
inside.
you're outside.
I'm
Oh.
inside.
You were outside. You were standing on the doorstep with me just a second ago.
I went in.
Alright, let's go inside.
I'm hurt.
I'm so confused.
I blame Angry Wolf as well.
You blaming the healer right now? Oh.
He
Oh
Always.
god.
Wait. Am I wrong?
Yeah. You left. You
I
walked
went
out.
in.
I followed him.
No. You're
Okay.
outside.
I am in. Come to
Okay.
me. I am in.
Like we were standing there.
You were inside.
I don't know.
And then you ran up the stairs and out the door, and I followed you.
Oh.
That was the front door.
No, I came in from another entrance. I
Yes,
swear.
Miss Vicky. Poor Matt.
Uh-huh.
Poor me.
Uh-huh.
I'm the victim here.
Oh,
I'm the victim.
I'm really confused. Okay, well, yep, that's me having the screamer. Oh, see that
So,
teleport?
I mean, I don't know if we want to do the quest necessarily. We could probably just run around and
Yeah, I just want to
watch
look at stuff.
to do some killing of things
wanna see the
on
map?
the necro.
Pretty quiet and see what happens.
Yeah, it's huge. The map
So,
is massive.
Yeah.
Frames.
And actually, I'm pretty sure if you go straight ahead, the group boss is just on the next platform. Oh no, I think this might be the group boss here anyway. Next platform, I think.
Synergy. But something's going on here, and everyone's yelling
Oh,
at
no,
me.
Sorry, yeah, this is the group boss. So this is probably a good test for the DPS rotations. Though I think we've actually arrived almost to the end of this anyway. So
There's another one.
You can't jump over that ring, by the way. I tried.
What ring? Oh,
and it's
There's a little AoE on the ground.
oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Mildly spoilerish, I'm not sure. But we are actually fighting the champion of Marunas. I think that's how you say it. I can't
Oh,
remember.
see, Icy's gonna
who's one
spoil
of
it for you now.
the Daedric princes. No, that's all I know. And actually, for that matter, I have done the question here, and it's got nothing to do with
Maroon
that. In
is.
fact, Marunas' champion is in here. It does indicate that there's more Daedric princes
500,000 health.
and
Gonna melt.
behind
But that's-
things going wrong, which is always
As
the
in
way.
Maroon's Dagon?
As in Marin's Dagon, yeah.
But Maroon is not Maroon's Dagon.
Isn't
Are
it?
they?
Isn't it
Well, it's
Maruna's
different.
dagger that you pick up in?
Yeah, Mehrunes
in the-
razor, but it's spelt differently.
Is
So
it?
that's got a double N and a Z, and Mehrunes
Okay.
Dagon is one N and an S. It's very similar though.
We got two of them now.
Oh, do we have any law in chat who can
Kins in chat.
confirm or otherwise?
Oh, that's skill point. Yeah, is that it?
Yeah, so
Okay.
that was the group boss. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
It's like that. I think that's where the H
that is
goes.
the Maruna's Dagon. Yeah. Oh, there we go.
And that's the Daedric Prince that causes all the trouble in Oblivion.
Yeah.
It's like the
there's
main
a-
antagonist in Oblivion. And then in Skyrim gives you the quest to get Mehrunes razor, which is
Yeah.
a cute little dagger.
Got the crafty elfies.
Crafty Alfie.
I
Yeah.
don't know then.
Imagine.
But it's intriguingly similar.
It
I'm
is
curious to see if
intriguing.
there's some
Sorry,
connection.
we should stick with Crown and follow where Crown's going.
Yes, crown.
Because they're the
Potentially.
one testing stuff.
That's
But
watching my
little
frames go
dragons.
crazy.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'm on
So what else is in the patch notes people want to talk about?
something.
So let's talk about the guild finder, the new guild finder interface.
can I use that here? Recruitment?
Yeah, you should be able to.
Yeah, bring it up.
You might, if you've already got 5 guilds, you might need to just
Oh, I
leave
remembered
one so you
something.
I'm
can
gonna leave like.
pick up another.
Should I leave maps guild? Which one?
Oh, yeah,
definitely.
leave mapped guild. It's not important anymore.
Rude.
Alright. Bye bye.
I got the skill point.
Didn't want you anyway.
Get
comes
your own
out.
kite healer.
Oof.
So, yeah, just have a. So
Guild
there
finder.
are a bunch of test guilds, and I've got a test guild in there. So see if you can find it.
Alright, so did you make it social or crafting, questing? What was
I
it?
did make a social guild. I think it was.
Cool. Fingrush Inc. Okay.
Social.
Okay, Argonians. Dancing naked Argonians.
Sign me up.
Icy's test. That one looks, yep. Hey, hang on, what was that? Big salt pile. Oh, that one sounds good too. Apply to guild.
So you
Alright.
can see as you go to join a guild, you can see that there are. It will give you an indication of what the guild's about. When you use the guild tester, you can set up things like when your guild's active, so you can, and it also auto converts to your current time zone as well. So you can just sort of say, "Oh, my guild's active from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m." and somebody in a different country looking at that, it'll be converted to their correct time
Oh
zone.
my
so they
god,
Yeah,
know.
that's great.
Stop
It's really
it.
good. So you can actually find out
Oh my god. I'm
what are you putting.
I just
Well,
did
you'll
an
find
uh,
out. You'll find out the application.
So Daku has put in an application, and then I get it as a notification, and I can actually read it and then approve it as well,
I don't think you should
or I
read
can
it.
deny it, and I can have a reason. There's a default reason you can put in, or if you're going to reject applications, which is quite handy. If they accept, they just join. Otherwise, yeah, there's the default. You can set up a base rejection application as well.
Like, sorry, don't want you.
Unfortunately, I can't accept this application because there are some grammatical errors. So I
I
will
was
have to
typing it with
deny it.
really bad frame rate. In my defense.
Is that it?
My defense.
So not only, so I can, if I right click on the application, I have an accept, decline, report,
Yes.
and then denial. So
Yeah,
I can
report
actually
him.
reply if I'm not sure about the application, I can actually just use the interface
Hold
to
him.
apply and say, please can you fix your spelling before you apply next time?
Actually,
And you've got another
reject. I
option.
want to see what
It's
happens.
like a job interview.
Yeah, actually I will do that.
Can you pick your
Hang
own
on.
banner, or is it like default?
You can, as you go to reply as well, it will open, it'll open up your canned rejection message, but you can actually edit it there as well, so you can be personal. And there is also a tick box on that rejection message that says add to blacklist. So if you're going, nah, this person is a total troll, I never want them to apply again, especially if you're a big guild who's got a lot of officers and somebody you've rejected them for a particular reason, but that message doesn't get around. Having them on the blacklist means you don't need to worry about somebody accidentally inviting them late.
So
So-
I'm just showing what the recruitment interface looks like right now because I'm on my guild there. So. Primary focus, social, secondary, PvE, nice. Additional activities, role playing.
Definitely.
It's just RP. There's no ERP.
Oh, for excellent
I'm sure you
roleplay.
can add a comment. I think, I believe you can add little
recruitment head
blurbs as
time.
well.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, my food ran out.
Yeah, I'll fix grammatical
So
errors.
it's great. It's brilliant. Like, it's really well set up. It seems to be really well through. There seems to be the right kind of options there. There's a whole heap of functionality that you can sort of say, we're a balanced guild, we're a hardcore guild, we're a casual guild. You can have sort of primary social, you can have a secondary specialization of housing or fishing or a whole heap of other sorts of things. It's really very, very good. I suspect it will be particularly useful in console, but it sort of removes the need to be yelling in zone, and you
Yes.
can be,
Damn.
I guess, a lot more clear about what you're joining as well. So I think it's fantastic. So
I'm going to apply for this guild real quick. Hang on. Sign me up. Can I leave my own
Listen.
guild?
Right, it's now listed. There we go.
I don't know if you can.
I think
leave
I,
your own guild.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, you have to promote someone else first. You
Oh, that would work.
have to make someone else the GM.
You can link it in chat.
Or you can link a guild. Wow.
Okay, let's...
So now you don't need to spam it in zone. You can just link it in zone.
Okay,
Mm.
Yeah.
what was it called again? Not trading, damn it. Go away.
Your application to IC's test was declined. Spam,
Ah!
please. I'll delete that. And
It's because you're bad.
And you've
Oh,
also
I
got
have another
you
one.
also have a history list as well, so you can actually go through and see all of the it's part of the standard guild history list, except you've got extra information in there now for the actual guild finder stuff as well. So that's sort of in there, as well as sales and bank and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, you've got guild finder entries as well, so you can actually go through, if you're in a big guild, review applications, review approvals, that kind of thing. So really great.
Oh my god. Hang on. Man. Some of these names, yeah.
Yeah, I'm extremely tame having an icy test. That's it.
Yes.
You don't need to leave to review to apply to the other guild. You don't need to leave. So if you've got you don't need to leave an existing guild. So even if you've got 5 current guilds, you can actually apply to other ones. So if you're in a guild that doesn't quite fit you or your play style, you don't actually have to leave it before searching for a new one. You can actually just apply. And then if you get accepted, I think you should just be able to leave your guild, leave one of your 5 guilds then and join. So guild applications are pending for 15 days before presumably being auto-declined and have a 15-day expiry.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know about priorities. If, for example, you've got a big trading guild and you've got lots of people joining, I don't know how the pendings work. For example, if you've got 15 people waiting for 5 slots, be interested to see how that works. So that
I
one's
imagine it's just
hard to
first in,
test,
best
but-
dressed.
Yeah,
If
possibly.
the first 5 of those 15 people to accept will get in.
Mm. So I mean, many trading guilds don't really have any, like, it's just you're straight in. So it's not quite like an application process in the same way. So yeah, very interesting. But should we go and kill something else?
Yes.
I think the final boss, which might not activate, is up through that door because we haven't actually done the quest.
Yeah.
But if we go back to that main
back to the
central
right.
platform and go left or right, we should find some other boss.
Okay.
Or we can go through here and see if there's somebody for us to kill.
One way to find out.
One way to find out.
So, cauldron with whirly parts are in.
Oh.
Yeah,
Come.
look,
Oh,
Okay, there we go.
Oh, we turned to a boss.
We
Times
do.
3. How much
So this is sort of the final quest boss.
Tuladra.
It's very strange. I can't
What's
summon
Get
any of
wrecked.
my pets. Or my necro pets.
Ah, killed 3
Oh.
people, got their gold.
Ancient urn open. Oh.
I feel like this room would have a quest objective in it.
No, this is it. This is
Oh.
the fun a little bit. So this is where you're directed when you do the quest.
Yeah, just there's like a random room at the back that seems to serve no purpose, so I feel like there's
Yep.
probably a quest thing in there. This is a public dungeon, hiking lady. So it's
Yeah,
a bit
so
bigger
this
than a
is-
delve.
One of the 2 public dungeons. And it's not far from Rumen. We're kind of avoiding doing the quest in here, so no real spoilers, but we are just
Just
running
kind of
around
showing
doing
off the space. It's a very impressive space, especially from up here.
It looks amazing. It's very,
Let
very.
go.
Do you want me to
So,
talk
this is-
briefly about the
yep.
the new logs, the ESO logs?
The combat logs. Yes. Yes, that's
Yeah.
quite interesting. Yeah.
So I watched a video today from the Asian God, and there's been a little bit of. They're going to be a little bit controversial, but I think they're amazing. As someone that leads a raid guild, but there is a new feature coming, in case you've missed it, where basically you there's a semi-optional feature that makes all of your combat data available, and then so if I'm running a raid group, for example, I can then use a command to start logging, which stores all the information in a log file, and then that goes into a website which spits out a tremendous amount of data. It's a little bit like combat metrics, but it's like combat metrics on steroids, and I can see it for the whole group.
And also, it goes to a public website.
Oh.
Yes.
If somebody
You don't have
chooses
to.
upload it.
Yeah, you don't have to upload it as public. So you can set up guilds on the website so that the data isn't available for everyone that's on the website, but you can make it available for everybody in your guild. But yeah, basically it shows like damage, it shows deaths, it shows you can get like a replay of fights that show where people were, where the boss was, where ads were, where the pets were. You can see uptime on different buffs and debuffs. Like I'm struggling to think of things that it doesn't have, and it's going to be a really, really useful tool for analyzing fights and working out, what people are dying to, who's doing damage, who's not doing damage, and that makes people nervous. I understand that makes people nervous, but I think given the depth of the data and given that it's not real time, you have to do it retrospect. So I have to like start logging, I have to then like upload the logs and wait for the website to kind of process them and then review them. Like it's not a real time thing where I can go, oh, you're really terrible, I'm just going to kick you from my group.
Just don't have on back, yeah.
Yeah, this will expose me as a true slacker, and it might expose you as a slacker, but it's exposing you as a slacker, I guess. I feel like no one's going to use it unless they really care, right? Like it's a lot of data to delve into, and I feel like as a raid leader, I'm kind of entitled to that information, and people that are just doing casual sort of play, it's not even going to be an issue. But I think it will be a bit controversial. You can opt out of sharing your your name along with the data, so the data will still be available.
Yeah.
So kind of like, well, if
It's
3 out of
not-
4 people share it, then you
You're
kind of
not
know
really
who the
anonymous.
last
Yeah,
person
you're-
is. Yeah.
If you're the only person who's opted out, it's not really anonymous. If it's a a dungeon and only one of you. So so the anonymity.
Anonymity? Anonymity.
Is not really a thing. there's no way to make you, yeah. However, because it's not right then and live, if you're analysing, like say, if you are analysing a pug dungeon run, for example, you know, maybe you go back and work out, if you can remember who it was you were grouped with, maybe you can go back and say, right, I'm not grouping with them anymore because they weren't credited or something, but it's it's a little awkward.
But you're not going to run into situations where people in the middle of a dungeon and go, you're doing really badly, and
not any more than they do already.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, like, you can usually tell if someone's doing badly anyway, right? Like, it's not gonna cause issues like that. It's not like, you know, the famous gear score from WoW, where people just, you know, won't be included in groups at all. But it gives raid leaders and people that are trying to complete serious content tools to kind of analyze what's going on, that you just can't watch everything because you're doing your own thing, right? Like, I'm trying to call shots for a raid, but I'm also having to perform mechanics myself and do damage myself, so I just can't see everything. I can't see who's not stacking in the group. I can't, you know, see who's dying to what and why they die. But this data will allow me to go back afterwards and go, 90% of our group deaths are to this one mechanic. We need to make sure that everybody understands what that's doing. Or, you know, 2 people in our group are, you know, they're just not doing any damage. But if it was just combat metrics, like, it would just tell me that, but this actually might give me the tools to work out why they're not doing damage. What else are they doing instead? So it's actually, it's really thorough.
Some other way, so
exactly, it's really, really thorough. So I'm really excited for that as a tool for, like, diagnosing raids. So and there's at least one really good video. No, I'm not. But yeah, there's at least one really good video from the Asian guy. There's probably more. So if you're really interested in the details, definitely check that out. Because it's pretty intense. I was like, whoa, there's like too much information here. So that's exciting. Yeah.
Okay, that is.
Oh, does console get this or no? Is it
Yeah.
just a
No.
PC?
That is an excellent question. No, console doesn't.
Well, yeah. So you can't.
Yeah.
Like,
because
how would you?
Ultimately, it's an
Yeah,
add-on.
that's true.
It's actually kind of an extra piece of program.
It
that's running
generates
for the
like, the only thing the base game does is generates
How
that
does that you do? Oh, you
Yeah,
do.
generates a log, and then you have to.
it's like a log file, and then you have to upload that to the website and a console.
Yeah.
As far as I know, that doesn't really work. You can't, like,
Okay.
you can't open Windows Explorer on your Xbox.
So I mean, maybe at a later stage, maybe that is something that can be looked into. But yes, certainly to start with, no, that's not.
Yeah.
Poor console. You guys don't get any of the cool toys.
Yeah, I was saying in the stream a
Well,
couple of days ago, like, with Sky Shards and law books, like, we have our little, like, add-ons and all that, but considering that, like, if you see on a map, you'll see, even on console, you see all, like, little map pins. It'd be like the way shrines and the delves and all the towns and all that, and the caves. I don't understand why they can't just put another one in for Sky Shards.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, like, because every single PC player automatically, first thing they do is they put the Sky Shard one in, and then they put the law book ones in too. So it would be.
Servers are back, apparently.
Yeah.
I mean, make it so you can turn it off. That's fine. Like, presumably, like, I'm not even sure if my filter options are, like, for my map are base game or if they're add-on. But can you filter? Like, can you in the map on the console, can you turn off them?
Yes. Yep.
So you just make it like that. You just turn on unfound Sky Shards.
Yep. And
you turn off the found ones.
Yeah, because, like, you have to go to, like, a website to look at where the Sky Shards are, and, you know, it's such a pain. But yeah, it's something to consider, I think, and even if, like, not just Xbox, like PS4 as well, but they get that it's an awesome thing. The console community, I reckon.
Do we want to talk about one last thing? The Sky Shards. Daphne, have you logged on to any of your characters for this one? Like, are you able to demonstrate after you've done all those things.
That's
Shards for this character.
It's concentrating very hard right now.
So we should be able to, where is it under upgrades? Yes, Sky Shards, here it is. Buy them and what, I've never unlocked any. Requirements not met. I'm sure
You need to have logged on the other characters to populate the database before it pops.
Yeah.
So.
Alright, I'll switch over and back.
populate the data.
Hopefully I can remember which ones I've got them on. I can't, some of the taking.
Just
Same
like
guy again.
Oh, that map guy.
Just log on to your main.
yeah,
Yeah,
if you log on to your main mission.
We'll just kill
Look.
you.
Because Arwen is letting us know that most of the servers are back up.
Except for EU.
Or
Or EU.
That's the, and EU. Okay, cool.
So we might so we'll check out the Sky Shards and how that functionality works, because that wasn't working in the initial patch release, but it is.
You won't be able to buy Sky Shards with in-game gold, Hiking Lady.
No, it will be crown only. But there is,
Unless
if
it's
you
your
are
video.
very rich in-game gold-wise, but
That still won't work
Crown
because it's
One of them.
Is it
Connected
oh
to
no,
your
that's right. It
achievements.
won't work because it's achievement based and it.
So
can't
you won't be able to
can't
gift
gift it.
them. Yeah.
No, that's right. Yeah, it will be only crown.
Oof.
There's no indication yet about the cost of the crown, like how much it will cost to unlock. So it might depend on how much it costs as to whether it's worthwhile. I do always maintain, if you're going to buy crowns, unless you're buying a huge amount because you want to buy a house, if you're just planning on buying, like 1,500 crowns, don't. Go and get 1 month ESO plus. It's basically the same price. You'll get more crowns. You'll get all of the other ESO plus benefits for a month. So crafting
DLC.
bag, access to all of the DLCs. You can do all that stuff. Do the Thieves Guild, do the Dark Brotherhood, unlock all those skill lines, get those skill points, get your 1650 crowns, spend them or whatever it is, then let the subscription expire again. You're much better. If you're just needing that 1,500 crowns, you are much, much better just get a 1 month subscription. And it's almost a waste of money just to buy 1,500 crowns. It's different if you want to buy a 15,000 crown house, that's fine. That's a sensible reason to use the crowns, and they're on sale at the moment. But if you just need a few to do one particular thing, you are much better just to get an ESO Plus.
Just don't get
you don't already
addicted.
have one.
So as you see,
You'll get
when
addicted
I've
to the
got-
craft
It's
bag
very addictive.
and the
but
double
it's
bank space.
much better. The double bag space, and that would be the thing. If you're into housing, if you want to start doing a bit more housing, yes, get the 1 month, decorate your house, and you get the double.
Hello.
Like all of your slots will be used. You won't be able to add anything to the house, but nothing gets taken away. Same with the crafting bag. While you've got the ESO Plus, your crafting bag will fill up. Nothing will happen to it. When you lose ESO Plus again, you can just start drawing from it. You just won't be able to add to it. So do it that way.
Okay, so if you see the screen now, we've got, as I've logged onto this character, which has done things, it says multiple products are now available for purchase on your other characters. And we have, I can hit log out from here, get the hell off this character.
Yeah, straight
More
away.
information. Purchase Sky Shard achievements, there we go. Fully completing a Sky Shard Hunter achievement on one character will unlock the ability to purchase that achievement on other characters. The purchased achievement will award all associated skill points, or any remaining skill points that your current character has not yet acquired. There we go.
Fuck, man.
And the nice thing is, if you've, for example, say you want to, it actually tells you how many skill points you have already found in that zone. So, for example, you've unlocked it on one character and you want to buy it on another character. We'll actually say, well, actually, you've already discovered half of the skill points in this zone. Are you actually sure you want to spend crowns on getting the rest? So it is actually helpful that way. It's all very obvious right there how many skill points you're going to
Is
get.
that coming from
You've got in the zone already.
10,000 crowns?
The what? Sorry.
I'm not sure. Nara was saying that's going to cost 10,000 crowns. I'm not sure if that's confirmed or not.
No, and there's
Oh,
no.
just a wild guess.
Like-
Okay.
Oh, it's a wild
Let's
guess.
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, no indication at this point how many crowns it will cost at all. And for that matter, they never ever have crown costs on the test server. Everything costs one. There's
Yep.
never any indication. It gives them flexibility, I think, just to see what the community is feeling. Because if there's sudden terrible outrage in the community that they're being charged for this, they can obviously just pop in that crown cost being less than they'd planned to before. So.
Mm-hmm.
Origin Sky Shards, there it is.
I don't reckon it'll be that much, surely.
Oh, look at that. Boom.
Yep. So you can see Daku's got a couple there that he can unlock. And presumably ones for like Bleak Rock and things will cost less than
Interesting.
the larger zone.
So it has its own
80 zones.
like tab now in the crown store.
It has its
Mm.
And also this is per character. So if you pay for this, you're only unlocking it on that character.
Oof,
It's
that's
not
gonna be
unlocked
so
for
much.
all characters. It's only that one character. So you're basically paying crowns,
Wait, what?
however many it is, to unlock the Sky Shards for one character for
Oh.
one. So
Which Cragglorn Sky Shard do I not have? That is a lie. That is absolutely a lie.
So, Hiking Lady, regarding new assistance, there is some speculation based around data mining that there could be, and I don't know if we want to say more than that because it would be very spoilerish. It is not. There is nothing in the Crown Store now on this current PTS iteration that has any that are a new merchant.
I wonder if that's online.
Yeah.
Cyrodiil definitely is going to be a good get.
So,
Yeah,
so
actually,
Cragglorn
that's-
Sky Shard Hunter
It
is an
could be-
achievement
is it
here.
As a-
And it's got lower Cragglorn Sky Shards, upper Cragglorn Sky Shards. I have both of those achievements, but I don't have the one for having both of those achievements. What?
Then maybe bug report it because that does sound a bit odd.
Oh, I'll check it on live.
There was a question in chat what
It's been so
FPO
triggered.
stands
My
for.
achievements.
Oh, it's like la la la. Like, how nice is that having all of these Sky Shards on this? What is that?
Sorry, Angry, what was
Requirements
that?
not met.
There was a question in chat before of what FPO stands for with the furnishing pack and the.
I actually don't. It's basically feature placeholder out something or other. Like it's basically
there's no picture
placeholder
for it.
artwork for the test server. So
Okay.
if you ever see that popping up, it just means they haven't put that artwork in yet. So
Mm.
anywhere you see that, expect on the final game to have pretty beautiful artwork.
Or just a
appearing.
big question mark, a big red question mark as well.
That's the same. Any icons that they haven't finished as well, just get like a big red question mark thing.
This
So
means
if
freaking
you ever see
preview,
that
okay?
in the live game,
Yeah,
Yeah.
just stop complaining.
yeah, if you ever see that as in the live game,
Just hang on a
do a
bit.
bug report. But on
Yeah.
and the other thing would be on like the last week on the PTS before it goes live. If we were still seeing those on the last week, then yeah, I'd be bug reporting anything that we saw. So, but right now, no, that's fine. They're still basically putting all those bits and pieces in. So that's normal on the PTS at this stage. So first, second, third week, still definitely that's pretty normal. So, does anybody have any questions
Question
us?
time.
about anything they've seen or anything else they'd like us to look at?
Should we
Probably
go and
not
kill one more
tonight,
dragon?
but next time we come back,
Man, those dragons are crazy.
the dragons are.
Oh. Is there one up? There's not at the moment, I don't think.
I don't think so.
No.
But yeah, so now is a great time to go and get your to make sure that you've got all of the sky shards in a zone.
Mm-hmm.
Good to do that. And for that matter, it's probably not even a bad idea to farm gear at this point if you think you either use it on a character or sell it to people who use it. Like, I still think Necropotence is probably going to be quite a reasonable set that people will use to start with on Necromancers. So
Yes,
go,
they are.
go farm some and then put it up for sale when the servers go live, or farm it for yourself. So the dragons, yeah, Hiking Lady, the dragons are world bosses, but they are standard ones as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is
Oh,
standard.
there's one up.
There's a dragon. There is a
It
dragon.
actually, it's like a live movement thing as well. You can actually track it. That's actually really cool. It moves on the
You
map.
can see it as it's moving around. It's way cool.
Okay, I'm gonna go travel. Oh, there's 2 of them.
I think
no.
if you look at the icon on the other one, you can see it's sort of like broken down the bottom. I think that means that
yeah.
one did.
Yeah.
That one's been defeated, so...
But you can see with the
yes.
2 swords that one's getting attacked, I'm assuming.
In this zone, it seems.
I'm not sure it's always accurate. It could be a bit buggy. I've been to ones before where it had 2 swords, but
it was just
like,
sitting there.
it was dead. So
Another sky shot I found. Wow. See, I haven't got the sky shot add on this the PTS. So I'm just like looking for it, like I'm on Xbox. Like, oh, I found one.
I found one.
Stumbled across it.
Yep.
It's nice to have some like real-time feedback about those world events as well. Like, you know, you can't tell from the map whether a geyser or a anchor is, you know, up, if it's in progress, if it's down. Yeah, so the dragons, like particularly for people trying to get achievements related to, you know, killing the dragons, that'll make them much easier to find promptly.
Yep.
Oh,
That's
I think
right.
this
and
one's
also
close
only one of the dragon locations actually close to a way shrine. The others actually require you to ride for, you know, a minute or 2 to actually get there. So that's actually also helpful if you can actually see on the map when it's worth your while to actually ride out. So. Now I'm trying to make my way down to the dragon. There we go.
I just traveled to Icy. I don't know if it's going to be closer or not.
I don't know. Because there's all the cliffs, there's so part of the landscape, there's a giant it's called Scar, and literally it's a giant cavernous break in the land. Chasm, that's the word I'm looking for.
I'm gonna die.
Between the two.
Rich kept saying cavern on the stream.
No.
He meant chasm.
It's one of the C words. And I've just ended up in the chasm instead of across the bridge where I wanted to be. So it's actually, yeah, I'm actually completely in the wrong spot to get to there. Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
So
I'm on the wrong
it
side
actually
of these
does
cliffs.
It breaks up the land, and I think it'll take a little while to actually learn the best ways to go around it.
I'm just gonna go straight and hope for the best.
I hope for the best. Yeah, it's not so much that going straight anymore, actually. So.
What is
I
this?
just found Sky Shot too. I won't.
I
Oh,
just
did it die?
found
Oh.
Yep, I think it's dead. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's like nearly. I'm gonna get a final hit on it. Actually, I think it's stuck.
Looks dead on my screen. Oh no, it's got 33.1k health, but it's dead.
33k health.
Yeah.
So if
That's
you notice
dead.
on the icon for the dragon has changed from a complete, like it sort of looks like it's got a knot in its tail, something, and that seems to indicate now that it's
It's a different color.
it's dead.
Too.
Oh,
Cool.
and then it disappeared. Okay, that was it. I don't think it's meant to do that. So, hey, Bojangles. But I think we are talks about the health of the dragon. Oh no, they're great, Ghost. They have a massive amount of health. Like really, I think you're gonna need like that at least 10 people. You really will need a huge, like a big amount of people to actually take it down. And even then, it actually still takes a while. So you will actually have time to ride to it and get to it and actually do damage probably. So I would think probably in the first couple of weeks, no, maybe not, because there's going to be so many people farming dragon. But after that, yep, they're actually, yeah, I think they're fantastic. They have a lot of damage. They do a lot of damage. There are a lot of ground effects. They Fusuridae you. It's fabulous. Bring your, unless you're extremely good at dodging, bring your soul gems, because yeah, if you're needing to res at a shrine, it'll be dead by the time you get back. Yeah. But no, really good. Super lovely. So I think we're
no more questions.
We'll wrap it up there. Thank you everybody for coming out. Yeah. We really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody who's followed the channel as well. We have actually reached over the 50 follow mark. So thank you. If you haven't already, please do hit the follow button. That would be amazing. So our next thing is we just need to stream for more than 7 days in a month. And then we can get affiliate on the channel, which would be really cool.
Yeah.
So it's more just a tick box than anything else. So, and please do, if you do have any spare change, even $2 helps. There is the donation button for Make-A-Wish Australia just below the stream. The campaign is still open for the time being, so if you can contribute any,
This is gonna work.
that would be amazing. And Daku, I'm pretty sure, like, have we? Is the entries for the grand prize finalized, or if people donate now, will they still be eligible to enter for the grand prize?
Still eligible. We haven't drawn that yet. So at this stage, I'm waiting on, I think, one more person. Sorry, two more people. Sorry, to put in their addresses before we send out the Griffins and the Teddies. So we're missing a couple of people that have filled in their details there because we have to send them as a bulk lot. And
Yes.
the grand prize will be done. So it seems everybody's on annual leave because of the Easter holidays, at least for this week. So they won't be back until next week. So we'll organise something in the coming weeks to draw the grand prize. But the longer it takes us to do that, the more chance you have to enter.
Yeah,
That's right. So, and the grand prize, there are 2 poster packs signed by the Elder Scrolls Online devs. So if you're a fan, and I'm assuming you're a fan because you are here watching content about the Elder Scrolls Online, even when the servers are down, do enter. So just, you need to allow yourself to be contacted.
Yes,
that's the only proviso.
There's
and obviously
a button, a check there before you finalize your donation. It says allow Make-A-Wish to, basically contact me. You can opt in or opt out. You have to opt in because the privacy laws in Australia say that they cannot contact you under any circumstance if you say no. So therefore, if you did win, we couldn't contact you. So we're not allowed to get in touch with you. So you must opt in to be eligible. And obviously you'll want to have.
You can always unsubscribe from mailing lists later, but you just need to opt in to be contacted for the prize. So if you would like to want to win one of those 2 prize packs, please do donate, opt in, and you might get lucky, which would be amazing. So you're here for the accents. Well, we can provide Australian accents. That's fine. And a variation for that.
Dave Muffin. She's just
She's asleep. Yep.
Yeah. Muffin. Hey, Muffin.
Yes.
There you
Very
go.
obedient.
Hi.
What?
Hi.
Alrighty. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Once again, to everybody for showing up. We really appreciate it. It's lovely to have you here. Do check out, if you've missed any of the previous streams and you'd like to catch up, they are all here on the Tamriel Downunder channel now. Under the video tab, we've actually managed to collate all of the previous ones from the various locations where we were streaming. So they're now actually all present here. So you can catch up if you'd like. Thank you very much, everybody. We will see you next time, I think.
Yeah, sounds good.
Definitely.
Yes, definitely.
Yes,
definitely.
We know.
Thank you, everybody. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Everybody. Bye.